Hello. Just check the audio is working. Yep, looks like it. Good, 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 good. We're all go. How are you? Team, how are you? Team of one, team of two. Have you had a good week? I hope so. Don't be afraid to, pipe up in the chat. That'll be good. You might have seen my tweet about it not being very well. Was it a tweet? I don't know if I did tweet it actually. Maybe I put it somewhere else. I haven't been very well this week. I've had a nasty cold, so I've spent a lot of time in bed, which has been a bit rubbish. But I've used the time when I've not been sleeping super wisely, and I've been working, which is not that good of an idea. I really should just rest. But it's been productive despite being ill, which I'm pleased about. Right. What are we going to do? I want to get down to it because I have a bit of a deadline. I definitely want to be finished before, sort of an hour and a half. So we're probably not going to have a super long one, which means we might not get this done that I want to do today. But we're going to give it a go. Definitely going to give it something of a go. What is it that we're doing? We are going to try and create an OpenGraph image generator using just PHP. And yeah, we'll see how we get on. I think I've seen quite a few people attempt different versions of this, but doing it with Node or something else that can kind of tap into using a browser and rendering some HTML and then taking a screenshot from the HTML, which is all fine. I think it's a very reasonable approach to doing what we're going to do. But it feels a little bit too heavyweight for me. I feel like the fact of having a whole browser engine in there and having to boot that up, and then also the fact that you've got to do it using Node or something else like that, you're using JavaScript, which it's fine, but I just want to do it in PHP. And I haven't been able to find really anything out there about it. And maybe that's what we should do first, is actually have a look. But I've done a bit of searching and not come across anything. So I'm kind of like, why? What's going on? What should we do? Well, the other thing to talk about, is the reason. Why do we want to do this? Well, especially when there are other things that exist out there. I kind of have stumbled into this a few times over my, I'll say, career. For as long as OpenGraph image generation or images have been a thing, where often it was you'd set one as like a default, and then you might override it on, and your content management system would allow you to select a new image. And so it's very manual, like somebody's got to create that image and then upload it to the server or to the CMS, and then hopefully that's all right, and then it goes, when the page gets loaded by whatever social network that's loading it, looks for that tag, looks for the image, caches that image, etc., etc. But that's too much work. So the context for me is I'm a solo founder, I'd say solo whatever, preneur, And I don't have time for all of that. I just want to have a really easy template that I know is going to work, and I want the template to be adjustable. But I don't necessarily need to adjust it every single time. I just need to adjust it between maybe different sites or whatever, but let's see. And I want to know that it can sort of predictably generate the image on the fly when it needs to, and maybe even update it. All of that stuff could come later, but that it can put the pieces together in the way that I would like them to be and generate this thing and have it run from that URL. And it feels like that should be completely doable in PHP. I don't see why I should have to install, I don't know, I'll say install, and maybe that's not even the right word, but you know, I'm kind of borrowing this full Chrome browser experience and I'm running some other language, you know, I'm running a whole other environment to enable this, and that's just like, what? If you're concerned about security, footprints and that kind of thing, installing other languages, installing browsers on your server, and you know, headless or not, these are just like things that you probably don't want to be doing. Whereas you might already have and be comfortable with an image manipulation library, for example, or something like that, that your existing stack plugs into. My existing stack is PHP, so I want to use PHP. And there are a few things out there that can do it, so we'll have a look at what there is, and maybe a little bit of the challenge of what we're trying to do, and get a bit more context. That could be helpful. And then, yeah, we'll see. What do you think? Is it a worthwhile thing to pursue? Should we actually do that today? Even, you know, I've sort of suggested it, but I'm open to other ideas if you want to do something else. We can just chat for a bit as well. I'm not like, we haven't got to dive into it. I don't think we're going to complete it today, honestly. So yeah, we'll see how we get on. Also, this is a bit of a outside the norm of what I've been doing on this show. Is this a show? Where I've been going through my application, an application that I'm building. So this is completely different pace, different thing altogether. And what we're going to do with this is hopefully turn it into something open source. We might do that today, just to get what we've done out there to start, even if it doesn't work. So yeah, let's see where we get to. Let's see, is anybody in the chat? No, not yet. I can see a couple of people are here, but no chatter. So I guess you're busy doing other things, and that's okay. Right, what should we do? You know, I think I'm going to just jump straight to... Sorry, one sec. This cold is going to make me cough, and I don't want to cough in your ears. Lovely. Sorry about that. Let me do this. Gulp. Sorry for the horrible noises of my body. Okay, where are we? Let's do the thing where we look at the screen and see what's going on. What's that called? Screen sharing. You know the deal. Come on. What's happening here? Right. Put that back on. See if I can appear. Hello. So, go away, Netlify. I don't need you right now. Oh, that's annoying. Yeah. Maybe there's a few things actually that I wanted to potentially talk about today, but I'm gonna pause on anything else. We're gonna dive into this, and we can have some other chat towards the end if we've got time. As I said, I got just over an hour, so let's see how we get on. Let's try. I'm going to spend maybe 5 minutes now just digging into some of the stuff, sort of the context of why we're doing this and where I've looked so far to kind of solve the problem. And yeah, and maybe the first step is, so I've got my personal site, which is not very great. And here, these, somewhere in here, I've got an OpenGraph image. And this one is just a really standard. I just use one for every single thing. This isn't great, honestly. It's a bit rubbish. And then sometimes I go really out to a something. I go all out and I make a custom one. So for this one, I did a custom version, and so I had to do that manually and upload it, you know, or whatever, put it in the right place and link it in the CMS or whatever it is that I use for this, and then that one is different just in that case. And I've been doing quite a bit of this recently on here, which is also quite simple at the moment. But each one of these, let's do 1, 2, 3. Let's have a look at this one as well, because I think that one, maybe that one does. Well, we don't need to look at all of them, but you'll see these are like all different images. YMIB81. LB blah blah. And these, I'm manually creating every single image and uploading it to the CMS, which is actually a filament PHP admin interface, which is like a markdown editor, which is actually super great for doing this simple blog. And that's still it's too painful. Like, I just want these to be really standardized, and hopefully you're getting the point. And I don't need to labor it any further. We're not going to look at all of these because that's surely clear enough. Tone afternoon just had the "you can finish for Christmas" email. Yes, that's it. It's over. 2023 out the way. Nice one. Welcome. Thanks for joining. And I hope that this is a nice, gentle ease out to whatever it is that you're going to be doing over the next few days. Right, so everybody on the same page? We're trying to generate these OpenGraph images so that we don't ever have to create them ever again. Is this a problem that other people have? Yeah. Is it a problem that's been solved? Yeah. Are we going to do it a different way? Yeah. Okay, so this way, this is one way that I found. Hey, look, it's Aaron Francis again. Damn it, he gets everywhere. And although it's updated his details here, this article's actually, well, I don't know if he was at PlanetScale at that point in time. I can't remember. I think it was before he was at PlanetScale, because this article is actually about his time at that other place. What's it called? Tuple. Is that the way that everybody says it? Tuple? I say Tuple. So they did something, sorry, I'm skimming around, but they did this competition, I think it was last year, and for every entry that was made, you got a special sharing link, and your sharing link meant that you got a specific OpenGraph image that was generated to look a certain way, which is very cool. Like, this is almost exactly what we're trying to do. It doesn't need to be that complicated, but the principle of it's the same. So how did they do it? Well, the reason it's on the Netlify blog is because they did it with Netlify. And a bunch of JavaScript and edge functions and look, generating static images with Puppeteer and Chrome. Great. This isn't what I want. So this is close, principally right, but and maybe we'll come back to seeing how some of this is thought about, because it's kind of interesting. But mostly this isn't what we want to do. Then there was this one. So Marcel, super well-known Laravel PHP person, and really, you know, I expect great things from him. No, I do expect great things from him, but he also delivers great things. So this is fine. On this is going back even further. So back to 2020. Oh, interestingly, November as well. November. Seems to be. Oh, I should have done this last month. Damn, missed a trick there. So this is, again, same situation, and I think Marcel even wrote in words better than I've said today. Like, I want this to generate images on the fly. Yeah, so he's tried to tackle this. I think many people probably use this, especially in the Laravel community, because I've seen this quite a lot on packages and things. And it's a service, so you can use. I didn't even know about it until I stumbled across this post. This is so, like, what's serendipitous? I don't know if that's even appropriate for what I'm talking about. But, you know, you can basically build up the URL here with these options, and then grab the URL that you want to use, and then use it on your README or something on your GitHub project, etc., etc., which is cool. The problem with this one, there are two problems even with this one. One, it's very limited because it's just this. Now, that's solved by, what do I mean by just this? It's this layout of the page, the design of this thing. And yeah, we can't control that with this service. But that leads to the other side of it, which is that it's open source, so you can get your own version, you can adapt the design and do what you want with it. And that leads to the second problem. The second problem is the open source version is, oh my gosh, it's another JavaScript thing, and it uses the browser, and I don't know. I have to say, I was a little bit disappointed when I read that to the end, and I was just like, what? Deploying to Vercel? No. I don't want to deploy another service to do this for my own website that, you know, just like, I'm going to end up paying Vercel just to generate images for me, and I don't want to do that. I have a server, I have multiple servers. I want to use the resources that I've already got. So, yeah. Maybe call me a stickler for like being too tough on that. I don't know, but whatever. I want to do it my own way. What else was there? There's one I'm missing. There was this one. So this was built by, this is a Ruby app. It's actually a SaaS, and it was built by not these people anymore. Or rather before. I can't remember his name. Quite well-known Ruby person who's doing stuff with Turbo Native. Who's doing Turbo Native? Let's find out who it is. Here, Joe Masalotti. So Joe Masalotti built this, and then he sold it. And this is almost like bang on. This is kind of where I want to go. But Problem with this, because it's a SaaS, as far as I'm aware, it is... Did I have an account? Come on. I don't think there's any open source version. And then the other thing, even if it was, I don't have an account. Even if it was open source, it would be in Ruby. So then I'd have to have Ruby set up somewhere. But I'd be able to borrow some of the code, you know, kind of adapt the code from that. Maybe. I don't even know what it's doing in the background. Maybe that's using a browser too. Is that what people do for this problem? They just use browsers. I know it's convenient. It's okay. Somebody said to me on Twitter, was it James? Where did he go? Good buddy of mine. I looked into this last year. In the end, I used some of the tools already there in Node to do SVG to PNG and fired up a little serverless thing to do that instead. Cool, that's great. If that works for you, nice. Yeah, you could use web fonts. Okay, there's some interesting takes. This is really good feedback. It says, the key thing is I could use web fonts and make it look fairly nice, which I find is harder in iMagick. Well, and then he says, maybe that opinion is 10 years out of date. Haha. So maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We'll find out. I've spent more than 5 minutes talking about this. So anyway, then the other day I came across this, which super coincidental. I'd literally tweeted about a day or two before this had come out to say, does anyone know how to do this in PHP or have done this in PHP? And Spati said they've released their image package without the thing that they used to use under the hood, which is, what is it called? Intervention image. An intervention image was the thing that I was looking at as actually, I'm going to use that because it creates this nice layer, sort of fairly nice. They actually explain why it's less nice in this post, but it's a fairly nice API over the top of things like iMagick to let you do some of this stuff. So I was like, oh, well, that's what I'm going to use. And then Spati have come out with their updated image library, which actually feels like this might be the one that we're going to use. So we can take like pictures and put them into a canvas and save that to a file. And we can manipulate them and do other things. And the trick here is it's not just image manipulations that we're doing. We're not loading a file and then changing that file and then saving it back. We want to create a whole new like blank canvas, and we might want to bring in multiple images. You know, I haven't really thought this through, but I want to be able to write some text on there, and I want to be able to put an image in the background, and I might want to put another image in the foreground and have a circle around it and shadows and whatever. So I don't know if this will do that yet. I haven't read through all of this. I haven't looked at the library in any great detail. So we'll find out. I'm just scanning through this to see if there's anything that jumps out. This is kind of interesting. That's to do with testing. Testing of this is an important thing in the context that they're doing it in, this media library component that you build. But I wonder, okay, let's see. Tone, have you used HTML2 Canvas to generate an image of what's on the user's screen, which is then presented and downloadable? That sounds interesting. And if you've got a URL to point me at so I can take a look at that as well, that could be useful context. But no worries if not. Okay, so we're going to get started with something. I don't know what this is going to look like, honestly, but let's just go. Why is everything opening on the wrong screen? I don't know. I don't even know what we're going to call it. Let's call it the OG. So that's not descriptive at all, but I know what it means. And then I know that I'm going to pull in this package. I'm just going to start with a completely empty environment. That's fine. OpenGraph image generator for PHP. Yeah. Package type. It's a library. Okay. Let's have spatty image. That's silly. I should have left blank. Dude, let's do this again. That's what happens when you try and go too quickly and you don't read the instructions. Yes, spatty image. Come on, brain. That. Search for a package. Would you like to define your dev dependencies? No. Add PSR fort. Actually, I don't know. What should it be? I think I prefer when it's spelled out correctly. I don't know about OG. I'm going to leave it and we'll figure that out later. I can always change it. Oh, come on. That's silly. Oh, come on. I just need to read properly. This will really, really help if I just read. It's not letting me choose this. It's telling me where do you want it to be. I want it to be in source. Yes, that's fine. And I will fix that. Yes, let's go. Would you like to install? Yes, let's install. Fine, done. And then we can do, I think I've got Sublime. No, I don't. So I need to open applications. Fine. That doesn't work. What? Do I even know how to use a computer? Oh, Sublime Text. And dot. Yeah, let's do dot slash. Fine. That didn't work. It doesn't accept arguments. Well, that's dumb. It's just... Thanks. Or it does accept arguments and I didn't do it right. Whatever. Projects. And they're not sorted by name. That's not helpful. And I called it OG. Cool. Okay. Bye. So, what next? What should we do next? I basically, at this point, I just want to toy around with this library and see if it can do even remotely something. But we should probably get the documentation up as well, right? So, let's go to their docs. And it already looks like it probably isn't going to do the stuff that we want it to do. So we're going to have to fall back on something else, because I'm not seeing things here around like adding text, resizing, optimizing, effects, watermark. Well, watermark, kind of interesting. Holding a cough is one of the worst things that you ever have to do, because there comes a point where your eyes just look like they're going to pop out of your head and you try not to make any noise. That's not really any good. So watermark is, that's just layering another image on top of that's kind of okay, but it doesn't give us that dynamic, like I'm not generating this text, right? Maybe you should have looked at this first. So it's still potential promise because it's got some features that we might use, but if they've just created a new version of the intervention package, and then it's like, why would we have both? Let's have a look at intervention. Can this do text and fonts and things? Yes, it can. So at this point, I'm like, well, why would I use this over that? Yes, it's easy to add text with whatever that says underneath the little bubble that I can't read. Maybe it doesn't say anything. With intervention image. Thanks, Adrian. Yeah. That's what I think I'm going to have to use. So let's backpedal. And hi, Adrian. Thanks for coming and joining and giving us that little tidbit. That's very helpful. So let's go. I'm going to require this one instead. And we're going to get rid of, we're going to get rid of the spatty one, unfortunately. Composer, remove spatty image. So we're going to focus on this one, because this is going to give us, by the look of it, most of the things that we want to do. Fine. So we've ruled that out. Back to this territory. Of course, we haven't really talked too much about like other people's experience here. I'm just diving into this like this is the thing that I should do. I don't want to do this. If there's a library out there that somebody has got or done or used, let me know, because I don't want to build this just for the sake of it. But let's see. That's a shame. Maybe that's something I can change with moderation. No? I don't know. Let me see if there's another setting somewhere. Not looking promising. What does this let me do? I haven't got the block links thing checked. So there's an actual setting that says block links, and it's not checked. So that's kind of annoying, isn't it? Hey, Steve, thanks for coming in. This is nice. I guess you've got the afternoon off as well. HTML2 canvas. Hudson. I don't think I've ever seen this before. Oh no, it's NPM. This is a kind of similar principle to what's going on with the browser-based things. Great minds, eh, Steve? Where did you get to with it? Were you doing it on stream as well, or there's like a completely separate? So we're creating OpenGraph images on the fly using PHP. We're about to start. We haven't got anywhere yet, but okay. Well, your input could be really valuable. Let's see. So this is, I was going to say this solution, this HTML canvas, HTML2 canvas, is kind of similar to the browser ones, right? Because it's just using HTML, but then I'm guessing it's using the canvas element in JavaScript. So it's rather than booting up a whole new browser environment, it's just rendering. Rendering it as a canvas and then giving it you as an image, which is fine as long as what you're trying to capture is in this browser view, or it's renderable HTML somewhere that you can then capture out to a canvas element and then get the image from. Which in theory we could do that, and that's kind of nice. I feel like there's going to be some gotchas to that as well. Like if you try and do it in one browser versus another, there's going to be issues. And I kind of want to make sure that no matter where and how I'm doing this, the thing generates the image that I want to build up. What's the word? Reliably. Oh, you've got a gist as well. Look here, all of the answers are coming out. Let's have a look at that. This is how to get around the link problem, isn't it? Oh, very nice. And this is using intervention. This is a good starting point. This is a great starting point, in fact. Is there a reason you wouldn't use Browser Shop? So I went through some of this at the beginning. There are quite a few solutions that use the actual headless browser environment to render some HTML and generate a screenshot. And just don't really... I think for me, one is the challenge of doing it in just PHP, which I think is actually an interesting problem to solve, rather than going, we'll just use this. The other one is security and your security footprint. If you know that you're having to install a browser of sorts onto a server, and you're having to install another runtime like Node, then suddenly you've got to have a little bit more awareness of those things and be prepared to manage that. Or you offload that responsibility to somebody else and you limit what you can do, or you limit your knowledge of it and all of that kind of thing. I kind of feel like a PHP solution would be quite nice. And I just wanted, I wanted to just find a package to see if I could do it, actually use, and we wouldn't be doing this on stream. But I haven't found a package yet that does this. So that's kind of the fundamental reasons. I want to be able to deploy this to one of my servers without having to spin up a whole new environment. And PHP package to do that feels like a really appropriate open source thing. So hopefully that answers the question, Steve. Sneaky. Okay, cool. That's very good. That gives us quite a bit of stuff. Yeah, Glide. So my understanding of Glide is that it's really, it's not so much about image creation, it's just about image manipulation. So doing things like adding sepia and grayscale and adjusting sizes and what have you. And then doing all of that via a URL-like interface, which isn't really what I want to be doing for this. Like, I want the image to be generated and stored as a file, and then I can reference the URL to that file in the OpenGraph tag. Yeah, maybe it is. What is it? PHP League. Yeah, resize, add effects. I don't know if you can add text using this, like, and deal with multiple layers of images, for example. There's nothing that's jumping out at me to say that that's possible. Anyway, it uses intervention under the hood, but I don't think it kind of exposes all of intervention. I think it just does a subset of things for this specific kind of, I want to craft a URL that does these manipulations on this source image, and I'm kind of solving a different problem. Yeah, exactly. I want to create the source image, and I know exactly what kind of image I want to create, but that's the problem. I know the kind of image. I don't know the exact image yet. I want to do that on the fly, and it's going to contain text and stuff. And I think that's where was it Adrian? Adrian's little gist here is going to come in helpful, right? So cool. This is a good. I think this is where we're going to like draw the line and expose, looking for other solutions. And we're just going to go for it with some of this and try and figure out what this should be like as a package, because I have about 40 minutes, less than 40 minutes really. So this is a great start. So what I'm going to do, I hope this is MIT licensed, is I'm not going to copy paste it because there is no formal license on here, and that's okay. But we're going to use it as inspiration. That doesn't matter where it's coming from, does it? We're going to... So let's break it down. We've got a path, which I guess is the output path. Or is that the icon? No, sorry, that's the PHP logo that we've got here. So, yeah, okay. So we can insert a file nice and easily. Nice. And then text we're getting some font. What's abstract font? We'll see in a bit, I guess. And you're getting some text from your model, setting various parameters. Okay, this is the font. So this is just like a accessor manager class, and then we load the font that we want to use, set the size, set the color, and blah blah blah. And that's it. We don't have to do anything special. So this callback just runs, and whatever the text is that we've set it to be is what happens. It gets printed to that image. Cool. So in theory, if you've got your different types of text, so maybe different groups of text in different styles, different sizes and colors. Those are these callbacks. And then you've got the bits of images and just their size and position. And then maybe some shapes. This is the only thing that I can't see here. We're using images and text, but we're not drawing any shapes. That's kind of okay. I don't expect to be drawing lots and lots of shapes, but what might be quite cool is if we just had a little bit of like a band, some variants there. So I haven't got any design idea. What am I thinking about? Let's do mugshot bar. That's the example that I've got in my head. Is this like where it's got this red band at the top? So that's as simple as just like a red rectangle in this case. I mean, if anything, if we could just repeat what some of this does. So I don't know if you've ever seen this. It's actually quite nice. Let's just have a look at the tool. I don't want to do all of the UI and stuff yet. I just want the principle of what it's doing here is what I want to replicate. So we've got, let's say, we'll do that one. And it pulls in some of that stuff, just like give us an idea. And then we've got, in fact, this isn't generating the image at this point. This is just giving us a preview, which is HTML. So this is only going to give us the principle of it. But the idea is that you've got like these different layouts and different themes, color schemes, texts, and then you can kind of swap bits in and out. And some of the cool things here, like if I look at this 2UP example, you can see like the actual OpenGraph image from that URL has been used and brought in and rendered here. And that's how this image will be generated to then be the OpenGraph image. So that's kind of a bit meta, but let's say you've got an image here. That's not going to let me do it. You choose an image that you want there, and it could be like the hero image from the blog post. And that would let you get a continuity from wherever it's being posted on social to people coming through to the actual article, which is quite nice. And then it's subtle things. So it's like the blue here is the same blue in there, and the sort of blue hint that's been used on that background. We should be able to do all of that, sort of placing the background and the layering of the text and positioning of the text over that and clipping. Like there's a few things that are going on, but they don't feel overly complicated. And the idea would be, in theory, we could say you can build your own of these with a quite simple declarative API that's just like, I want this here, I want that there, and it goes and does the thing. And kind of that is what intervention is by the look of it, but it's, you got to do a lot of stuff. And I think we could simplify we could standardize some of this and simplify it and just make it a little bit more like this, although not with the necessarily the UI, but just the, I want the default theme, I want the 2-up theme, I want the bold theme, you know, and I want it to be dark. You know, we could get to that sort of place where it's like I'm setting options rather than actually configuring the whole image, because what we build is what's going to configure the whole image. Does that make sense? Is that crazy to try and do? Let's see, the chat's been popping off. Steve, you have just come in and what's been said here? Oh, right, we're on about final. I am open sourcing this. I don't know that everything should be final. We'll have that fight offline. Yeah, only images and text. That's fine. We'll get to it. OpenGraph GIFs. Ooh, I doubt that's ever going to happen. They're just too big. When somebody comes up with a better format to use than GIF, it's GIF, by the way, then we can work that out. Right, so let's get cracking on this. I want this image facade, right? So we've got our image. Let's stick. Oh, I need to change this because I hate that. Naming things, I don't know what we should call this. We should call it, I don't know. Let's leave it at that. I don't want to spend time on that. It can change later. Assume we're going to have a class. The class is going to be, I'm going to call this one image as well, because I can't think of a better name. I know that's going to clash straight away with the intervention one, but that's fine. And then I kind of want to be able to do a public function, like theme. Let's just take it straight from this interface. Like, this feels the most appropriate. Kind of, I know that I've got a URL. Yeah, let's start at the top. Function. So I'm going to set the URL. I'm going to set the title. Public function title. Spell properly. I'll come back to that. And then description. How is description even used? I don't know. Is it used in something? Oh yeah, okay. So some of the themes use a different thing. So we're going to do public function description. And then we've got themes. Fine. And then we've got color schemes. Yeah, that's kind of okay. Color, should we do American style? Yeah, why not? Everyone will lose their brains if we don't. Color scheme, color, oh my days. And so the difference, sorry, now I've got like that tickle that's going to make me cough. Difference, gosh, so that's really, let me I'm all right. I promise. It looks worse than it is. So, I don't want a fixed set of background images, basically. I know this is kind of crazy because I know that people will do things that they just shouldn't do. There's going to be nuts background images. Maybe we should have a fixed set. Let's do it fixed to start with. Because then we can, I don't know, we can pick some nice things and be creative and without going completely crazy. There was something, maybe these are from there. There's some like repeating patterns, images, like open source ones. I don't know if anybody remembers. Repeating background patterns. Oh my god. Of course, there's subtle patterns. That was it, wasn't it? Subtle patterns. Why does that name ring a bell? Where is subtle patterns? Is it still alive? Subtle patterns. I don't know why I'm sidetracking to this. Oh, what? That, Toptal. That's so strange. Why did they, how did, okay. Whatever. See, these are all lovely, and I think they can be used very, very nicely for, goodness gracious, there's loads now. Subtle patterns used to be about 20 different images, and that was it. Now there's like 2,000. Wow. Okay. So we could pick a few. I don't want to go through those at the moment. This is... No. Blue. See, these are lovely. Oh, excellent. I want these. I want all of these. Okay, we're going to come back to this. This is the thing that we're going to use for background images. And I think they're going to be part of the package. I don't know. And then maybe later on we can look at allowing people to set their own background image. But the point of the background image is they need to be subtle so that they don't overpower the content, right? And then the other thing, we've missed something, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, okay. This is another good example. And this is probably a better example than the 2-up one, honestly, because I think this one's pretty horrible. Sucks. This one is pretty classic, in my view, because it's a little bit more detail and optionality. So we've got here the image to the side, the text and the kind of domain on the right hand side, and then we've got some extra detail. So the image, this one's meant to be like the product image. Obviously this just used the one from the website, but you know, let's assume that was a product image, like this coffee cup over here, and then it's got this other blob for price and oh, it can't be blank. Well, that's just silly, isn't it? It's not blank now. Go, go, go. Oh dear. Oh my lord. I've ruined it. Oops. Completely broken it. I'd just like to learn PHP. Do you think PHP is a good option for remote work, programming companies, or is there another programming language that can earn me more money through remote work? Oh dear. This is a really difficult question. I don't think it's the one. Unfortunately, I'm not going to tackle that one right now on this stream because I've got a limited amount of time and I wanted to make some more progress on this thing. I hope you don't mind, and I'm sorry I don't know how to read that script that you've used for your name, so I don't know how to pronounce your name. But thank you for joining. It's a great question, and maybe someone in the chat will be able to help with that. I think PHP is an exceptionally good language to learn. I think it's great for remote work, and I think there are plenty of companies out there that will want you to work for them when you're proficient at PHP, regardless of where you are. I said I wasn't going to tackle that question, but that's my very short 2 cents on it, and well, I'm going to move back to this now. So let's see, this is what's happened here is I don't like this. I don't like this at all, but let's say, man, it's really slow. Am I slow for everybody? Is my internet being really rubbish, or is it okay? I just don't know. Let's see. No, it says excellent on my end. Fine. I think I've broken this service by doing something. These boxes, these bubbles that they've, like, the layout's all kind of wrong and stuff. It's fine, we'll do it better. But I don't think we should copy it exactly, is the point. I think we should do something kind of similar. I kind of see the point, but maybe we do it a bit differently. So it's what can we boil that down to? It's kind of a call to action. They've created a call to action, and they've put, in this case, price versus discounted price. Don't think it should be that limited. I think it could be good if it was like a I do like the idea of it looking kind of like a button, and if it was on color scheme, which for some reason this just isn't doing, it's not updating it. If it was on color scheme, this could be quite nice. I think there are potential problems with choosing colours for text and colours for buttons, but maybe people are sensible and they don't do stupid things. I think we could get away with just one of these call out things, this call to action, and just have some text in it in the middle. And then we just need to work out, like, if the size of the box is appropriate for the size of the text that's going into it. There could be some funkiness there, but got to start somewhere. So let's smash this out now. I've got maybe 15 minutes. So we're going to say public function call to action, and that, we'll go through these again from the top. So URL, this is going to be a string, it's going to be a URL, and it's going to return, let's have it be a fluent thing, so it's going to be self. And then title is also going to be a string, and that's going to be title, and it's going to return self. And description is also going to be a string, and that's going to be description, and it's going to return self. And theme is going to be, I think we're going to set, I think I like the 3. I don't like the 2 or 1. I think we should just go, we'll start with 3. 3 is the magic number. We can do 1 and 2 should be quite easy. In fact, bold is probably the easier of all of them at the moment. and then we can do the default one, and then we can do e-commerce, and I'm not going to call them those, but it's going to be an enum, right? So it's going to be theme, and we'll call it theme. And if you're setting a theme, yeah, no, we always pass in a theme, right? So we're going to create that enum. Let's do that. Let's save this. I'm going to call this image.php. Save. And we're going to do a new one. And we're going to do enum. Oh, no, I need the namespace. And what did I say it was going to be? Theme. Does it need to be backed? I don't know, people might want to, so let's have it string backed enum. And we'll have case default. Yeah. I don't know, we might come up with better names for these. We're going to do 3, we're going to have default, we're going to have bold. I'm literally just stealing what someone else has done. The only thing I'm going to do different here, I'm not going to do e-commerce. I'm going to do, what's happening here? It's two-sided, complicated. Are there synonyms for this? Split? Let's do split. If you've got any better names, throw them in the chat. We'll revisit. Okay, so this is theme.php. Yeah, something like that. And okay, so we've now got a theme that we can bring in, and color schemes. Color schemes, and there's just 2 of those, light or dark. We should probably have an enum for those as well. Why are my files not appearing in here? Where have they gone? Where am I saving this stuff? That is weird. This is where I am. What am I missing? Source. Oh, Sublime's having a fit. Okay, I'm a little bit, I don't know what's going on there. Let's just have this. Have it. We'll do this. And color scheme. Default. Oh, we probably can't use default in theme. Didn't spot that. Standard. I don't know. That looks better for some reason. Color scheme, light and dark. That's all we're going to have there for now. Light. Dark. Dark. Where are we for time? No, I want to wrap enough. I know we haven't really done anything. This is like enum, I'm not calling it enum. Color scheme. We haven't really done the tricky part, which is generating an image. But I kind of feel like this is more important. I don't know, maybe I'm missing the point. Color scheme. Color scheme. I'm going to return self. Color. I think color it's not really color, that's a misnomer, isn't it? It's more like accent color. Maybe let's call it accent color. I wonder if color scheme is even right. Don't know. We'll see. So accent color, I think that's just going to be a string, right? And we just there's possibly something we should do differently to that. Maybe we should just have a fixed set of colors. No, that doesn't work. People have got different brand colors. I think it needs to be open-ended enough where they can just go, here's the hex code, or something like that. That's probably good enough for now, right? code? Don't know. We'll find out. Background. I think we should keep this fixed for the time being. So I'm going to set a background enum up. Call to action. This is going to be, well, at the moment we'll just accept text, right? So we'll just, or not text, content, and that can be a string. Right. And then, just being really naive, let's just have these in here. All right, we've got, oops, come on Sublime, do your thing. Title, description, theme, color scheme, accent color, background, call to action. Right, title, description, theme, and we know that that's a theme, and what's the next one? Color scheme, we know that's a color scheme, should be, and I'm going to have to set some happy, sensible defaults, presumably. Accent, where am I? Accent color, and that's a string. Let's put types on all of the things. Let's not skip that. Typing is good. What are the other ones? Background and call to action. So we've got a background. That's going to be background, and finally another string called to action. Fine. And then pretty much for each one of these, I'm just going to do this. Hopefully this is going to be fairly quick. I don't do things the quick way. I know. You can all help me get better at that. There's this something equals the something, right? So URL equals URL, and we work around each one of these, and depending on what we get, title, description equals description. I don't know. I should have put the $sign in, shouldn't I? Because that would have been the same for all of them. And then I could have done the other bit more easily. Never mind. We'll do it the slow way. Accent, color. It's going to be a bit more complicated than that. Hex code. Background, and call to action equals content. Fine. So we've got the basics. We need to create that background thing. Background. Now, I don't really know what these should be, honestly. I think we probably, I don't want to be spending time picking these out. Sorry, just dying again. I don't want to spend too much time faffing around with these. So I'm going to keep it somewhat similar to what these are. I don't know, maybe we can, even grab these exact ones. It's just too cheeky. Are they in here somewhere? What do you reckon? It's got to be, right? Is it the background to this? Is it the background to this? Where is that background image? Can't see it. It's undoubtedly an image, right? I don't know. I don't know where it is. It's not on that one. It doesn't appear to be on that one. That's got a colour. I don't know where they are. How very peculiar. Is it this one? Nope. Can you find it? So, I can't do that. I don't know where those are coming from. Maybe I'm just moving too quickly and can't find my head. But we can't borrow those. Borrow, in inverted commas. So, let's just take a few of these. I like these three. Like, they come... Why did that one download a file and then this one shows up in... Let's just save it. Bananas. Where's my downloads? They'll go there for now. And I'll move them in a second. We'll take these three, right? Save. Just waves. Perfect. And we'll go from there. We can expand. 3, 3, 3. 3 is the magic. What's it? So we've got... What were they? Cloudy day. Let's do new folder. And I'm going to say resources. I'm going to say, it really doesn't like this folder, does it? Why, Sublime? What have you got against me all of a sudden? This doesn't make any sense. It's because of the way that I opened you. I bet it is. It's because I opened it from the command line. And it's knackered it somehow. Okay, well, let's do cloudy day. I don't know what this is going to be, but it's going to be, I think these are PNGs. Yeah. Oh, WebP. That's why it didn't like download them directly. They haven't handled it properly. Bananas. Let's put them in order. Bananas.webp and just waves. The names we can change, or maybe change them. Maybe we shouldn't. I don't know. We've got them. That's the important thing. Fine. Hopefully this is in the right place. And I'm going to quit this because it's broken. I'm going to open it from here. And now it's going to let me see when changes come in, right? Aren't you? Yes. No. It really isn't. Sublime is broken. That's so random. Okay. Oh wow, it caught up. Okay, so something's just like hanging it. I don't know what it is. Where are we? Oof, time. Okay, so we didn't make as much progress as I thought we would, and that's my fault because I just kept talking. But we've got to start, and I think what I'm going to do at this point is just go and put this online, and then we can work from there, because I've got the vision of it in my head, and it's all thanks to Adrian, because of this. This has unlocked it for me. This is brilliant. So prior work, bringing it together, writing some new code, making it a little bit more accessible, hopefully. I don't even know if this works in its current form. Maybe we should add some tests to it and things. But anyway, what we're going to do, we're going to take this. I'm going to do easy route. Oh, why did it flip to that screen? That's really annoying. New window. It's really, really weird. I have to do it the keyboard way. Right, so we've got our repo. I'm gonna ignore. Yeah, no, sorry, I did the wrong one. I want to make sure that I ignore all items like DS store, exactly. And that kind of looks okay. I don't want vendor either. Right. I'm just going to do it really nasty, single commit. It's not ideal, but we've all been here. We've all seen how it went, so we know what's going down. And I want to get that on GitHub, right? So let's go GitHub. Oop. And we're going to create a new repository. I'm going to call it OG. OpenGraph image generator. It's going to be public. Is this going to mess me up? I don't know. Should do a README. I think this is going to create the. I can't do this. It's going to create a file, and it's going to be a pain. Oh no, I can't unselect it. Oh well, it's fine. Yeah, that's so annoying. You are annoying. I'm going to have to force push now. Not in source, in G. And code keeps moving around. See, this is why you should start with create the GitHub repository on GitHub first. This is a pain doing it this way, but there you go. I like to do things backwards. It's going to be, it's not going to like this. So let me force from here. No. And if I try and track, it's going to say, these diverge. Okay. Let's just force push from here. It's Bit of an annoying start. Oh well. And there it is, right? So if you want to go and hack on that, please be my guest. I will link to this in the things, the what's it called? Show notes. And because of the time, I'm going to wrap it up really quickly. Thank you for joining and all of the great input that you gave into this. I hope it wasn't too arduous watching me go through that. And if you were watching intently, I bet you were shouting at the screen, like, no, what are you doing? Don't do that. Don't just shout at the screen. Shout in the chat. Tell me, and I will make it better. I'm going to go. Maybe we'll make some progress on this. If you want to add to it, feel free. If you don't, that's also okay. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's something missing. Didn't I just add this in and now it's not there? Where did I save this? It's there, but I didn't commit it. Add license. Wow. Okay. Right. Where is this? I'm going to switch to here. I'm going to say a proper goodbye. Thank you. Have an awesome weekend and holidays and time off. Don't eat too much. Don't drink too much. Get plenty of sleep. Drink plenty of water. Stay healthy. Have a great end of the year, and I'll see you in 2024. Ciao.